We're live. Stand by for the theme song, everybody.
Bonanza, Bonanza, we're hanging out. It's the Brandon Bonanza Show. Bonanza, Bonanza, we're hanging out on the Brandon Bonanza Show. Hanging out on the Brandon Bonanza Show. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Brandon Bonanza podcast. I'm so excited. Today, we're going to be talking about what I'm going to do today is try to see if all these holy books that I've been looking into for the past whatever years and all this stuff I've been studying, if it is true. My interpretation is that they're trying to tell us, excuse me, everybody, I had something in my head. That these books and these holy people from the past and saints and stuff, and they're trying to tell us in a way that the world is perfect. That's what I think. That's what I think. Spoiler alert in the beginning. And guess what? If you don't agree with me, you're right. I get it. I used to feel the exact same way. And what I'm going to do today is try to explain how I see it, how crazy that it could be. And, maybe I'm wrong. Like, what the hell do I know, right? What's up, everybody? QSB, yeah, number one, Nigel, what's going on in the chat? All right, I have a quote for you guys today, and then we're going to get right into it. Stick with us because I want you guys to know if you agree with me or if you can even understand what I'm trying to put down, or if do you think I'm just crazy? It's fine. Whatever. I'm a comedian. I don't care. I want you to laugh at me, so laugh. Anyway, here's today's quote. Let's get it going. Today's quote is actually from the Tao Te Ching. Today's quote, here we go. Boom. Oops, what am I doing, everybody? I'm so silly. Today's quote, do you want to improve the world? I don't think it could be done. The world is sacred. It can't be improved. If you tamper with it, you'll ruin it. If you treat it like an object, you'll lose it. Now, this quote always is something that stuck out with me with the Tao when we covered it. I really always thought it was really amazing, and I think that I just want to make sure I'm showing you guys the right one. I'm so silly. There we go. All right, let me stop this share. So I think that really what they're trying to say is that, yeah, maybe your idea of the world isn't perfect or the way you want it to be isn't the way it is, but perhaps it's that way for a reason. And that's what I'm going to talk about. There's another part of this quote, I can't, there's another part of this verse, and but we're going to get to it a little later because I think it muddles the water. I want to talk about this first part and get into it, and then we'll bring that back. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. And like I said, I know this is a really crazy concept, right? How could the world be perfect? And how can we view it that way? And oh my God, there's so many bad things going out there. And how could you say that, Brandon? Satan's out there and he's real, and the Satan Claus, he's coming to get you. And the Taliban and the I don't, my references are probably way off. I don't pay attention to anything, but there's people out there, that bad people. We got to stop them. There's this uh Ronald Thump, with the guy, he's trying to become a king or an emperor. I don't know. I just see signs when I'm driving. I don't know. I can't pay attention and write it all down though. So this is the best of what you get from me. But again, you're right. So let's just take a moment of silence for you. And I'll just give a quick shout out to Leaf Only. Listen, guys, go to leafonly.com. Get your tobacco. Like, I got this little, as you can see, their symbol. There we go. Leaf Only. Look at this. Leafonly.com. Look, you can get these. You can get organic, cigarette tobacco, whatever you want to do. Leafonly.com. Tell them that the really tall guy with the beautiful voice and long hair, the amazing guy who comes in there every few weeks, sent you. I would appreciate that. Anyway, moment of silence for you people out there who are right. Maybe the world isn't perfect. Now, what I'm trying to say, because there's a pitfall to what I'm talking about, and I'm going to get into that first. There's this new age way to look at it, or whatever, however you want to label it, where it's like, oh, the world is perfect, right? There's nothing to be done. What can I do? I'm just gonna sit around all day and do nothing, right? I'm gonna let people take advantage of me. I'm gonna give all my money to the spiritual guru because guess what? He says that the world is perfect and I'm just gonna sit home and do nothing. That's the New Age trap. Because even Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, you know, you could sit there, Arjuna, and try to do nothing, but your nature, your own nature is going to drive you into action. There's no way we can't do anything. You could just sit in a room and do nothing, but you're still creating your reality. You're just creating a reality where you're in a room doing nothing. So you're still doing something. You know what I'm saying? So every day you're still creating. You're still creating something. So there's this fallacy of non-action. I'm just going to sit around all day and do nothing. Well, and it's sitting on a mountaintop. Well, maybe it is your dharma, your destiny to sit on a mountaintop and be that wise guy. Hey, maybe sometime I'll climb a mountain, see, and ask you a great question. If I do, make sure you give me a thumbs up, all right? Because yeah, subscribe everybody, thumbs up. We're in these YouTube algorithms and we got to share it around. Come on, it's a good message. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so the non-action fallacy and the whole New Age thing. That's not what I'm trying to tell you guys here. That's what I'm letting you know. And I'm not a Satanist, I'm not one of these guys, but there's no real label to me. I try not to judge anybody. So even if you are a materialist or a Satanist or somebody who doesn't even believe in God, agnostic or whatever, I think I could still make this make sense to you. So stick around and don't go anywhere. Because, listen, even Jesus hung out with the sinners and the saints. That's what they said, right? Something like that. I'm not claiming to be him. I just look like I died for your sins. Thank you very much, everybody. Anything going on in the chat? What's going on? What's up, Nigel? Look at what has been done by people trying to improve it. Tobacco is literally a panacea. Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite one almost. I mean, all right, I won't make crack jokes. You guys get it. Um, so Brandon, what do you mean the world is perfect or could it be viewed as perfect? And this is what I mean. Okay, so the easiest way for me to say this and I'm going to put it in a video game terms. If you're a video game person, this is going to be great for you. If you're not, just try to hear me out. There's this game I used to love to play in Halo. It came out in 2001 in November. November, guys, not September 2000. We're not talking about that, okay? We're talking about November when Microsoft released the first Xbox and there was Halo. And Halo, let me tell you, it was a crazy game, but there's different modes you could put it on when you're playing the computer. Halo everybody knows because you play online and you play other people and it's like, oh, great. But, back in the day, it was a Tuesday. We got it and you could select like easy, simple, whatever. And then like there's like moderate and like it's like when you go to Indian and they're like, do you want like white people spicy or do you want like Indian spicy? So that's what it was. And the Indian spicy on Halo was called Legendary Mode. Legendary Mode. And Legendary Mode was the mode when you were just played it and you just kept wanting to play because it was so good, but you already beat it. And you're like, how can I waste more time and engage in more in escapism? And have a great time playing Halo, you put on legendary mode. And then it's so hard. Then every player is just like a ninja expert Jason Bourne warrior. Now, you take that, right? And the video game is life. I'm not saying it's a video game simulation. That's another podcast. But just pretend for a second because I could show that how, your actions and stuff, it is kind of like a video game. That's why video games are so alluring to people because they feel like in that world they could do more than they can in this world. And it's just because they doubt their own abilities. I mean, look, you could do whatever you want in this world. I mean, look at Kanye West. You know what I mean? He became a famous rapper. Look at him, like that guy, Everyone's like, yeah, Kanye because of what he said. It's like, yeah, well, what about he's not even I mean, he's an all right rapper. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I love you, Kanye. Why don't we talk about the fact that he sucks as a rapper? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Am I? Anyway, so what I'm saying is though, let's get back to serious stuff. This video game life is like, say it's like a video game, okay? And if that is the case, and you're trying to improve your skill somehow, right? And you're trying to make it better. Would you want that video game on the easiest level? Maybe to learn it. Maybe when you're a child, it's on easy level. You know, not all of us had easy childhoods, but some of us had easier childhoods than our adulthoods are, right? We had people to feed us, take care of us, clean up, literally clean our poop and all that stuff. You know, most of us, hopefully. You know, so you could look at that as easy mode, right? And you're doing things, you're going along, and then as it goes, you go into school or whatever it is, and that's another podcast. As you go along, you know, you get more freedoms and stuff, and you go along, and then you move out on your own, and it gets harder, and it gets harder. And right now, guys, 2025, they were just like, oh, where's the mode where do we select the hardness for this level? They're just like crank and it broke. And they're like, look at Spaceball 1. She's gone to plaid. And things are getting crazy out there. And there's a choice that you have to make when you look out there. Well, the first choice is you look out there. You don't even, guys, this is the expert. I always give the good stuff away at the beginning. The expert things, you don't even have to look, you know? But if you feel compelled to look, then look. There's a reason you're feeling compelled, and don't judge yourself for it. Look at it until you're just sick of it. And if you need to look into that abyss and stare at it and go down those rabbit holes, or even just watch the news or whatever it is, you can look at all that stuff that's going on as expert level for you to improve yourself, to make yourself a super ninja Jason Bourne warrior spiritually. And what I mean by that, it's so easy. Okay, it's hard, but it's easy, but it's hard. But what I mean is the concept is simple. It is just exercising the only true free will that I can point to, which is how you feel in each moment. You might not be able to decide your actions at each moment that you want to do exactly like you think you have free will. Like, I just want to fly or whatever, or I want to punch this guy. I don't have free will. But what I mean is that might not be true free will, but the true free will I see is the free will that you have, dear listener, viewer, to choose how you feel about what's going on around you. Are you a victim because of it, or is it just something that's happening and it's something that's happening because of everything that happened before it and it's just rolling off and you're like, oh, you know what? Well, this might be happening, but at least later I could do this and I got that and I got five fingers on this hand and I got five fingers on this hand and I got two hands and two arms and they connect and I can use them fully. And then down here I got two legs and I got 2 feet and I got 10 toes. These are all things we could use to show gratitude, as silly as it sounds, because not everybody has those things. And if you're somebody who doesn't have those things, you can hear me. You could see me. There are people who can't do that. And if you're people who can't hear or see me, I don't know what to do. Come hang out, text me. What I'm saying is, I think there's always things. The final thing to be grateful for is you're drawing breath. You're here in this realm, still drawing breath, listening to my amazing voice, which is another thing to be grateful for because technically, I mean, I can't make the claim that it's healing, but I think I can make the claim that it's healing because listen to this voice. I mean, I call restaurants, right? And they're just like, I order food. I'm like, yeah, can I get like a egg and cheese on the go, whatever I'm getting. And then I'm like, some of this, and they're like, is that it? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you sure you don't want to order anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. They're like, please, just order, just keep talking. They're like, what's your name, Brandon? Like, just keep talking, Brandon, because your voice, we have you on speakerphone. The entire restaurant can hear you. We patched you into our radio system, and everyone here is just having a great time listening to your voice. Could you just keep talking? I'm like, you got to pay me for that. Anyway. That's how my voice is healing. It's been proven. What's up, everybody? What's up, Nigel? Again, Sarah G. What's going on? Good to see you guys in here. Thanks for hanging out. Check out my last live stream I did last week with Rodney Norman, the hilarious comedian, Marine Corps veteran. We did a Marine Corps birthday ball bash. We were having a Marine Corps ball. It was a lot of fun. And we talked about some serious topics too, a little spirituality, a little bit about death, you know. Like I said, 2025 expert level stuff is going on. I think everybody out there probably knows somebody who's affected by, some of this stuff. I'll just say that it's a time that people are exiting their realm, or there's just things that they have that could cause them to exit the realm. There's a lot of things going on. So, and I get it. And that's why when I make this claim, that's why I say, is the world perfect? I put a question mark because again, I I'm not going to disagree with you if you say it's not perfect. I'm not going to argue and say you're wrong. In fact, you're right. Hmm. Why? Because everything that you went through to give you that worldview that you have shaped the every experience that you went through shaped the worldview that you have, and that's your truth. You're speaking that truth. So who would I be to argue against that truth? For you, it's not perfect. And what I would say is I'm just talking about a different level, a spiritual level. You know, there's different levels to this stuff. You have a physical level. Let's just say we'll do this little experiment, right? You have a physical level. We're here. We could touch this microphone. We could fix my beard. We can make me look not so homeless. Yes, I have showered in the past week. I promise somewhere I have my punch card. I could prove it. And you know, we have all this stuff in the physical. And then could it be that there's another level where it's spiritual and if you're gonna be like, well, you're gonna get all hokey wokey on me, and no, but not even. I'll put it into science terms for you. Excuse me as I adjust my microphone. If you zoom into everything like I talked about, this lovely beard or that microphone you guys can't see. If you zoom into it, guess what's there? Energy. You keep going with a microscope or whatever electron microscope you get down is energy. It's dancing, and under that's probably sound. I don't know. And under that, it's probably a fairy, you know, with a wizard, and then it's like Gandalf and Frodo, and who knows what's going on in there? We can't tell. It's just energy. So what I mean is that's the spiritual because the physical technically doesn't really exist if everything's energy. I don't. Can I say this on YouTube? Where's is Shout out to Ishtak Bentov. I just got his book, Stalking the Wild Pendulum. Can't wait to dig into it. You know, so that's the level I'm talking about, right? The spiritual. So if that's the level, what I'm talking about, could the world be perfect? I'm talking about on the spiritual level. Now, on the physical level, I would lose this argument so easily because they would just bring a dead kid in and be like, is this perfect? And I'd be like, and then they'd burn me at the stake for trying to explain why this dead kid's perfect, you know? So that's why we're talking. That's why I label this comedy. I'm a comedian. I mean, it's whatever. You don't want to burn me at the stake. I'm just saying that's why you label it comedy, you know? You know what I mean? You label it comedy, and people are like, you're not even funny. And I'm like, it's comedy. It's subjective. As long as I think it's funny, then it's comedy. And that's what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, on the spiritual level is what we're talking about. So this is all like a hypothetical thought experiment. So all you guys can relax and put your pitchforks away and you could put out your torches, put them out. You don't have to burn me. You could still comment if you want. Listen, comment and just leave love. Why, you know, you could if you want to try to argue, but I already told you you're right. So there's nothing to argue. You're probably not still listening person who would comment like that though. Anyway, I don't really get those comments here. What am I talking about? You guys are the best. You know, we get the best people here at the Brandon Bonanza channel. That's why I talk about these topics because it really is only for people who can handle it. This I figure, and this is gonna sound, I don't care how, you know, like how egotistical this sounds, but this is like high level truth, all right? Because I know, because sometimes when I have to look at the world as perfect, I don't want to either. You guys think that I'm just over here like, oh, you know, the world's perfect. It's great for me. I'm just Brandon. I'm just sailing over here surfing, you know. I'm not like I'm not like a salesman for you guys. I'm just telling you my experiences. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, I get it. There's some struggles, so that's why I'm not trying to argue with anyone. But there are times where you might call me and I might be like, no, the world is not perfect right now because my phone's ringing. I just wanted peace, you know? All right. I don't know if you guys are gonna, I think you'll take me more seriously with let's get serious, Brandon, out here. All right. Do I look a little I look a little like a cross between I don't know if you guys ever heard of this movie. It's called The Big Lebowski. And I feel like right now I look like a mix between John Goodman and the dude, Jeff Bridges, right? That's his name. With these glasses. I'm like a conspiracy theorist, hippie. I don't, no, I'm none of those things. Anyway, I've been going for about 20 minutes. What do you guys think? I'm gonna keep this one short. I'm not gonna go long. Uh, you know, so anyway, I wanted to put this on to look a little more serious. Maybe you guys will take me a little more serious. Let me get my voice a little more confident. I'll talk a little slower with a few more pauses, and then maybe people will see my point. I kind of look like I'm a serious scientist now. And let's check the comment. Getting pretty high on the mountain of consciousness there be. Yeah, well, there's several Brandons that exist. There's different Brandons that are inside, and they fucking we're all some this I gotta sometimes you gotta bring it down a little more to earth, right? With the deep voice and the pauses in the hand movements, in the slower communication. My slow flow's remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Now we smoke weed like Tony Monteo sniffed a yayo. That's crazy blunts. Matt L's my voice excels from the avenues to jail cells. Oh my god, I'm dropping shit like a pigeon. I hope you're listening. Smacking babies at their christening. Shout out to B.I.G. That was a B.I.G. freestyle. And the slow flow is remarkable here. And what I mean when I say the world is perfect on the spiritual level is that if there's a God, if you believe in any type of higher power, I don't want to say God, goddess, there's all these words that get hijacked. They get co-opted. Can we talk about that? We're going to talk about it later at 11. Join me at 11 o'clock. We're going to talk about how these words get co-opted. We're going to be live. That's not true. I mean, I might go live later, but words get co-opted. You say God, and people are like, eh. But if you're not an atheist, basically, if you're not an atheist, and even if you are, it's fine. I don't care. Just listen to what I'm saying. If you're not an atheist, then maybe whatever you believe created you has a higher plan. And part of that higher plan, because if we are all just energy having an experience, then that means when we die, we really don't die. Could it be? My voice, it lapsed. The deepness went away for a minute. Could it be that when we die, we don't really die? Could this? I propose to you. There's so many lights in my face. Can I? Let's get serious here for a minute. I got to look above the glass. There it is. Could it be that when we die? I mean, even Tolkien. Everybody loves Tolkien. Everyone's dick riding Tolkien all the time. They just forget about Frank Herbert. It's fine. I don't care. I love Tolkien too. And what did he say about death? He said death was a gift. In the Silmarillion, the elves told the men that, the men that were getting lost, they forgot the way and they're just like fucking up. And the elves they sailed the ship over there like, dudes, you are fucking it up. Dude, you are fucking up. You're afraid of death? What are you, retarded? Death is a gift. This is a direct quote from the Silmarillion. I will make it as a direct quote. There was this elf named Gilford Danbard, and he was like, dude, and he was talking to this guy, and his name was Ralph Elskin in the Silmarillion. Look it up, man. No one will look in the Silmarillion to check my shit. Look it up. And he said he sailed to the men because they were fucking up. They were gonna try to, they were trying to live forever, and they weren't expecting. And he's like, "Death is a gift." Iluvatar, who's the creator of this whole thing, you know, this elf, he was like, "Listen, man, when we die, we're stuck here. It's like fucking Groundhog's Day, man. We die, we just come back. We can't leave this realm. You die, you get to exit. It's a gift, right?" So in his realm, Tolkien looked at death. I did it again. I excuse the momentary lapse in my deep voice. I know you guys will take me way more seriously with the pauses and the deepness. So Tolkien, it would seem to I would seem to propose that Tolkien would look at life, sorry, death as a gift, and life obviously, death as a gift. So if Tolkien can look at it that way, you know, so maybe this higher power that you believe in, maybe he has a plan, and all this crazy stuff that's going on to people and the torture and the violence. Oh, I got to get back to the deep voice and all this. I mean, listen, I've been down the rabbit holes. I know what's going on that G strip, and I know about the Gulf of Tonkin, and you know, I know about all this crazy stuff and how it, and the skull and bones and all that. But what I'm here to tell you is that it's all because all those people who think they're controlling the world, could it be that they're just another pawn of God? They're just another finger puppet of God, or this higher consciousness. Maybe I should coin my own phrase for it. Let's call it God. Maybe maybe this higher consciousness, if you will, has a plan. And maybe parts of this consciousness need to learn a lesson. Maybe they need to be a serial killer in order to know that if they do it enough, they're just like, oh, I'm sick of being a serial killer. And I'm not saying we shouldn't stop serial killers. That's the physical level. I still believe in, self-defense. I think it's a sacred right that we have to defend ourselves in our own, in our family. So I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying is, on the spiritual, if you do have to engage in any form of self-defense, you don't have to rage squirt over it. You don't have to be like, hey, I'm gonna punch this guy and I'm gonna make him feel the pain that my daddy made me feel. Sorry, guys. The momentary lapse in the deep voice. What I'm saying is, you don't have to rage squirt. You could just, simply, and listen, I'm not even saying I'm at this level. Can I do this? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, you could simply do what you have to do in the self-defense. Think of it like jujitsu, and you're just like, all right, this guy probably had a rough time, and I just gotta hold him up and wrap him up and do what I gotta do so I don't get hurt my family or whatever. You talk like that in your head if you can, instead of going, yeah, I'm gonna get this guy because of my daddy. Guys, I'm talking to myself probably. I don't know. Anyway, you guys have been lovely. I've been going for almost a half an hour. This is great. I think I'm going to keep it under an hour. I'm not quite sure, but I'm experimenting with these shorter things, I think I'm going to do some short, I don't know. Just wait and see. Subscribe. This is the commercial. Morelawsmoreproblems.com is my website. I've had it for since 2013, whatever the math is on that. So, check it out. It was early 2013, so it's about to be 13 years old, my website. Ah, yeah. Yikes. I think you used to be able to buy cigarettes at 13 when I was 13, maybe 16. I don't know. Anyway, I never, excuse me, smoked cigarettes, so I wouldn't know. I only smoke organic Canadian flute from leafonly.com. Go to leafonly.com and check it out. Am I getting through to you guys with this? Is anyone still going, you guys are crazy? I mean, I know I'm crazy, but that's what I'm talking about, though. Maybe this higher consciousness or whatever it is, God, the creator, whatever he's up there, this guy in a cloud, this elephant with 85 arms, and, maybe they have a plan. And maybe all this suffering that's going on is the other side of that plan. And maybe the reason we don't see it as perfect is because we're taking it personal and we're thinking that the way we see things are the way that they should be because we know best. Could that be because we're trying to control things? Because when we don't control them and they don't go the way we want, we get hurt. And then when we're hurt, it hurts and it sucks. And we don't want to hurt. So we think that if we control everything, we can control it so we don't have to hurt. But in controlling it, could it be that we're hurting things ourselves? Like Nigel in the chat said earlier, think about the things that have been done in the world by people who are trying to save it. The road, could it be? I mean, this saying has persisted for how long, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Does anyone know what that means? Does anyone know what it means that you can't have your cake and eat it too? It just means that if you eat your cake, you can't also have it. That's all it means. Why didn't they phrase it that way? It's so simple. If you eat your cake, you can't also have it afterwards. That's what it means. You can't still possess it. If you eat it, you can't possess it. I mean, inside you, technically, but never with clarity. Yeah, well. It's okay though, because we're not here to judge the people that are on the path to hell because of their good intentions. We're not here to judge them. I think it's great. I think it's a great thing that those people exist, and you know why? Because it gives us this resistance that I was talking about. They allow a legendary mode. What if that's what they were doing? What if they didn't even know that? What if they're like, "Oh, we're controlling the world, guys"? These people are not happy. You think they're happy? You think you think they're happy? You think they laughing like with joy? They're more like mwah, ha, ha, ha. You know, that's not a joyful laugh. That comes from, could it be that laugh, the mwah, ha, 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 evil laugh, how as cool as it is? Could it be that the evil laugh comes from having to convince yourself that what you're doing is making you cool or whatever, you know? There's a kitty outside. I hear a kitty meowing. Is that the kitty alarm? Am I gonna have to go soon? Oh, amazing. So anyway, let's check with the chat. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys again for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you like this topic and format. You know, I really don't care. This is for me. I hope you like it though. Seriously, I'll leave comments. Let me know what you want to talk about. If you disagree with anything I say, I know I'm right, but you're right too. So why should we argue about it? Let's just have a pizza, you know? But leave a comment. I get it. You know, if you want to see some clarity on what I'm trying to talk about. Again, this is just the spiritual level. This is the one where people get tortured and die, then they just go into who knows another realm. It's a mystery. And I think that where people go wrong is they try to define this mystery. And I think that's just another form of control. They want to know what happens after they die. Without a doubt, they want to know because why? Because then they won't have to be afraid. Because then they won't have to be afraid. And bring it back to Frank Herbert, who I briefly mentioned earlier. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will allow it to pass over and through me. And when the fear is gone, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. I think I got that wrong. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. He felt calmness return. This is what I'm talking about. It's acting despite the fear. You still might feel the fear. You're gonna get that adrenaline that someone's gonna pull in front of you. I don't want to manifest. If if something were to happen, you guys know you're driving and something happens and you get that adrenaline because you almost bought the farm or something bad almost happened, but it didn't. You narrowly avoided it. So you get the adrenaline. You know, you're gonna get that fear, that tinge, right? And it's all about what's up, Joe? Cosmic Lichens, Giuseppe. Ciao, Giuseppe. Que cosa? You're gonna get that tinge of fear, whatever. Something happens, you think you're gonna get fired at work, or somebody you're in the bathroom and someone walks in. I don't know. You get that, but it's about how you act despite that fear. Are you gonna freeze? Are you gonna flee? Are you gonna fight? Or are you just gonna be like, oh man, this adrenaline feels great. Can I get some more? It's up to you. And that's the same thing in this situation because I feel, this is all the Bhagavad Gita, which if you're not into the Bhagavad Gita, what do you even do in your life? No, you don't need to. You just come here and listen to what I have to say about it because I'm right. And so are you. We're all right. Because it's all right. Living my life in the breeze, and it's all right. If you live the life you please. That's what I'm saying. It's all right. No matter what you're doing, if you're one of these controllers, good for you. You're probably giving yourself agita. Like seriously. But guess what? Thank you for your nervous. Okay? I'm a veteran. People are always like, thank you for your service. Well, anxious people out there, thank you for your nervous. Okay? Because it helps make the world go round. It helps the resistance that we have. It helps us who make the conscious decision to become spiritual warriors like Raiden. We just got a Nintendo 64. If you want to become a spiritual warrior, these people are providing this resistance, and you don't even have to go out and fight them or shoot them or any of that stuff. You don't even have to get a grenade. Put that grenade, just listen, put the grenade back in the safe. Just send it back. I'm just kidding. I don't know anybody with a grenade. I wish I was that cool. I mean, I know people. I threw a grenade because I was in the Marine Corps in boot camp. We got to throw a grenade, so that's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm a comedian. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. Well, it's been over 30 minutes, and it's the first time I really lost my train of thought because I started thinking about when I was in the Marines with the grenade. It's crazy, you just one thought goes down the other. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, though. I got it back. Um, I'm gonna dip into my second lovely tobacco as we. Oh wait, I think I have a half done one. Let's see this brand new one. Yeah. Oh, it's a good one. I tell you, it's once it hits your lips, man. All right. Back to the spiritual stuff. So, all this terrible stuff's happening. People are dying. Terrible, terrible, terrible. People are causing the death. But could it be that all this stuff that's going on, you're just taking it personally? You're forgetting about one of the four agreements and the fifth agreement, one of those basic things. You're just taking it personal. And all I'm saying, and it's fine that you are. I don't I do it too sometimes. I'm just saying we're taking it personally when something happens and we're like, fuck, I wish that guy didn't cut me off and this and that, and I wish this didn't happen. We're just taking this whole experience personal. It's just a little bit of resistance. It's like if we went to the gym and we saw the leg machine and we were like, fuck you, leg machine. I'm gonna be a battleship on stilts. I'm never gonna work on my legs because you piss me off, leg machine. And then you go home and write stuff about the leg machine on Facebook, and your legs stay skinny, and you work up your upper body, and you're just a battleship on stilts. That's really all you're doing when you're taking this personally on the spiritual level. Because you're right. If you don't agree with me, I'm going to agree with you. You're right. But what I'm saying on the spiritual level, could it be that you're just taking this resistance personally? Gil Bates and Ronald Thump and Genghis Khan, and William Weishaupt and Cecil Rhodes and Milner and George W. Bush. And I even know about what's his name? Poppy and Bush and the other, that was George W. and the other guy. What's the good Bush? What's his name? The one that from the H days, from the Mean Mr. Mustache days. Who was that Bush? Anyway, what was I saying about all those bad guys? What if they're just doing it, they're just causing resistance, man. So you could look at them and be like, thanks, guys. Thanks for your nervous. Thanks for your agita. And thanks for, fucking up your kids with all that crazy standard training just so they could continue this resistance. It's so crazy, right? So you don't have to feel bad for them because they just passing it on, and we going down. It's like that Modest Mouse song. We're just all floating on, right? You could look at it that way. Now, again, in the physical, you could take steps to do whatever you want, change your own behavior, make yourself, if you really do want to change the world, I think the best way to do it is to change yourself. I've heard this over and over again. And in the process of changing yourself, you're going to see what I'm kind of talking about. That's really where the secret is, right? And I feel like the Alan Watts school of the Taoists and all this stuff, like we already are perfect. Okay. And they're gonna be like, oh my God, how dare you, Brandon? How you gonna tell me I'm perfect? I pick my nose. That's perfect. I have all these habits that I do. I touch myself. I want you to love me. And you still think I'm perfect? Yeah, divinals. I think you're perfect if you touch yourself. It's okay because what I mean is you might have habits like, you might do the heroin or whatever if you can even find it anymore. You might have a habit that you're not proud of and might want to not engage in a certain behavior and quit that behavior. What I'm telling you is maybe you're engaging in that behavior because you don't see that you're perfect. Maybe it's a vicious cycle that you're in. Maybe you're doing the cocaine so you can work harder, so you can make more money, so you can do more cocaine, so you can work harder, so you can make more money, so you can do more cocaine. That cheesy 80s commercial, it had a point. It's like maybe you drink or you do whatever it is or whatever because you feel bad about something, right? And then you do that, and then you feel bad about what you did. That habit, you're like, oh, I did it again. I slept at that, whatever it is you did. And you're like, I feel terrible. And then and it's a cycle, and then you do it to feel good. And then you have this high, and you're like, yeah, I feel great. And then what if one day you're like, you know what? It's fine that I did that. You know, midgets need loving too, or whatever you got to tell yourself. I don't know. I'm just trying to cover all our bases here. I don't judge. And, you're like, all right, it's cool. And then as you do it, you're like, well, maybe I did it because, I was treated a particular way. And then you get mad at those people who treat you that way. And then you're like, well, maybe they just did it to me because of what was done to them. And they got mad too. And it was a cycle. And I get it. It's fine because I'm here and I got 5 fingers on this hand and 5 fingers on the other hand. And I guess what? I got 2 hands. Attached to them, I got 2 arms. And I got 2 legs and 2 feet and 10 toes. So what is it be sad about? I'm an able-bodied person and I'm here, and you can only start where you find yourself. That's the other thing. So this is the process that I'm talking about. I know I sound like a crazy person. Good. But the process that I'm talking about is realizing that you are perfect. All these little foibles and weird things about you, they're only manifesting because, could it be, they're only manifesting because you don't think you are perfect? I think it's possible that's what it could be. I don't know. And as you start to work on this stuff and you take it easy, on yourself, then I think that you could, I got to show you guys a picture. As you start to take it easy on yourself, I think that, that's when it starts to click. That's when it comes in. I mean, guys, look at me just a few years ago. Look, this was me just a few years ago. Look at this was me a few short years ago. That was the look on my face. This is how I saw the world. I was just like, you know? Mm-hmm. This was me. Look at me, right? Look at how I was. Look at my face. I just didn't care. I just did not. Where's my control room? Oh, here it is. Okay. I did not care. Anyway, and look at me today. Watch it here. You ready? Like, look at me today. You see? So you too can also, realize that you're perfect. And guys, it's not, I'm saying it's a practice where I'm at right now. I don't always see myself that way, but then I try to remind myself, you know what? It's okay. It's okay that I just drove through that plaza because I wasn't paying attention. It's fine. Those people will be fine. They all have health insurance now, right? It's okay. I didn't drive through a plaza, and that's horrible. How would I dare even say that? But what I'm saying is you start to take things easier on yourself. You know what? I had a little too much to eat or whatever. It's fine. It's good. It was good. I was rewarding myself. It's cool. Whatever. It's kind. I had, I don't know. I'm just trying to say things. I picked my nose a little too much the other day. I chewed too much gum. It's fine. Whatever it is. I smoked. I smoked throughout this entire podcast. What's wrong with me? I took a break for like 10 seconds, guys. Come on. But what I'm saying is it's okay. We just do these things. We're here for a limited time to try experiences and have them and see how it makes us feel. And sometimes we feel good and sometimes we don't, and it's okay. That's what we're here for. If we weren't supposed to feel bad, we wouldn't. If we weren't supposed to feel joy and good, we wouldn't, you know? So stop being so hard on yourself. I think that's, I'm gonna brush myself on the show. I don't care because that makes me feel good. It feels so nice. And I think seriously, that's really what it's about is just to be easy on yourself and to see that, you know what, I am not. It's this little voice in our head that just gets to you. It's just like, oh my God, you're such a POS and you do that and I can't believe you said that and oh my God, they must think you're terrible and I'm like, listen, little voice in your head, my and I'm like, listen, little voice in my head. Listen, little voice in my head. I do not agree with what you're saying. I see what you're up to, though. You're just trying to keep me safe. You just don't want me to get hurt, but it's okay. I'm a big boy now. I could get hurt. It's all right. I will be okay. I will get over it. It is better to have loved and lost than to have not loved at all. So open myself up is what I tell myself. It's okay, you know? I think that's the message. And, I'm just talking to myself. We're all just talking to ourselves, guys. Don't take this too seriously. I'm a comedian. What am I going to do? I'm a comedian. Ba-da-ba-ba. So that's my argument for the world being perfect. I hope you enjoyed it. Go to morelawsmoreproblems.com. Go to leafonly.com. Get some tobacco only if you listen. Don't start. I'm not telling you to start. I never smoked tobacco. I never smoked cigarettes. And then I just started one day to go along with other things I was smoking. And I tell you, it was pretty good experience. There's some benefits there, but I don't know. I'm probably wrong, guys. Don't listen to me. Why would you listen to me? Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. That's the world being perfect. In a nutshell, on the spiritual level, everything is just happening for resistance for you. That's the way that you can look at it. Yeah, it is all about you in a certain way, but it's all about you in a cosmic, spiritual sense, could it be? It's all about a resistance, providing a cosmic spiritual gym so you can work out and make sure you work on your legs. You got to do the whole body, everybody. Nigel, this is for you, this comedy. You get it. Because you get it, Nigel. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it for you. It's a joke for you, not about you. Anyway, yeah, morelawsmoreproblems.com. That's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I had a really great time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And like I said, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Click the bell. You never know when I'm going to go live. You never know when I might do a short live. You never know when I might release a profound short video clip that could just change your life. All right, guys, I am going to play my amazing theme song. Shout out to Quentin Farrell, which I didn't give him a shout out in the beginning, but it's cool. He's such a cool guy. He doesn't even care. He knows. He knows what he did when he did this. All right, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Peace out. Hubsy out.
Bonanza, Bonanza, we're hanging out. It's the Brandon Bonanza show. Bonanza, Bonanza, we're hanging out on the Brandon Bonanza show. Hanging out on the Brandon Bonanza show. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.